Thrive Talk. Real, candid conversations about what it takes to live, work, and play on your own Thrive Talk. I literally jump for joy to both inspire and energize you to act on your own creative endeavors. Together, let's have a blast and Thrive Talk. Thrive Talk. Thrive Talk. I just love Thrive Talk.
Okay.
Dogs are in action.
All right. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. We're back. Another episode of Thrive Talk. Episode 3.
I wish you could see right now her elation of her whole body when she says that.
All of it is in Thrive Talk episode 3. We are back. I am Samantha Morgan, the producer /
Ooh, my rock right now.
Hey, I'll take rock. That's a pretty good one. And this is, of course, Jen Oken.
That's so funny.
This, of course, is Jen Oken, Jenn.
I am a Jennifer, but to the entire world now, I'm known as Jen Oken.
I know. And I have this weird, silly thing where I like to call people by their full names, and that is not her full name. So I've got to catch myself doing
I know
it
it is my stage name, my author name, my
your
marketed
presence.
name.
I think we've put enough names on it. Another name you have is accountability partner, and unfortunately, I bailed on you this morning. So this is my first time seeing you today, where it should be my second time. First time should have been at yoga this morning. Couldn't do it today, guys. Couldn't do it. You went, but did you do yoga?
I never did make it to the yoga. I went and I did my sauna. You know how I love me some hot sauna.
She loves the sauna.
I will spend 40 minutes in there, and I meditate. That is my place to meditate. So, and you got to find what works for you in this space. I meditate lying down. I do guided meditation at this moment because, my stillness is not really where I would like for it to be, but I'm doing my best. So I'm in there meditating, and I get out at the proper time to, take a quick shower and go on to yoga. And I was like, wait, do I really want to go to yoga, or do I need to kind of journal today? And I decided that I needed to take some time to journal. So I sat in the locker room. I did get dressed.
Noted.
But, one of the great things about, Sam and I going and to the Y and working out is afterwards we journal. I think it's a great practice. We do a little bit of talking in there. Again, making journaling, making exercises, self-care exercises work for you.
Yeah.
So I had my journal with me, and I just started journaling. And I started journaling about, my vision was it last episode or 2 episodes ago? Mm-hmm. We talked about writing out a vision, and I had realized after I did that episode that I hadn't wrote out my kind of vision mission statement for the podcast and connecting. And so I sat with that I was sitting in that locker room in this little corner by myself, which I work really good when I'm all by myself, writing and speaking to myself, talking to myself. I don't think I did it too out loud, but
no one was there.
I know, right?
No one is in the locker room to hear you talk to yourself. Are you a crazy? No. Totally fine.
But I also don't think that doing that also completely would define me, whether I'm being crazy or not. I think I'm just sort of crazy.
Fair.
I am putting all of this out there, and to some people that is a very crazy thing that they, putting out that vulnerability of, what am I really going to do to make an impact here? And I want, in my developing of my vision for this podcast is I want to make a spiritual impact for people. And I'm saying that in the sense of the I am spiritual, that I am blessed to have this talent and, that I've received through developing my craft as a photographer and empowering other people to move forward with some visions and dreams that they might have. I heard a song and I need to go look that song up again. It's in my Empower Jams playlist, but it talks about, being a kid and having a dream, and then when we finally get out there into college or to higher education after high school, whatever that looks like, it seems like we always fall back on plan B.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and where did we lose that? And unfortunate for me, I never did that. That wasn't a thing for me. I went straight into having a photography career right out of college.
Yeah.
But that, I understand that we're so ingrained with, you know, making our time and our energy being the value and worth that we put on what we do in this world, whether it's our plan B and we're, you know, in a job making money for other people,
Yeah.
or we've decided to go out and do something for ourselves and be, you know, be a solo person out there, you
Yeah.
know. So, and I did have a really busy morning. Like before we are recording this, I had a commercial job to photograph this morning. And, you know, I had people working at my house and doing things at my house. So I had a lot of moving parts. But, you know, taking that time this morning and journaling, it centered me. It prepared me for what's to come. And
Yeah.
and in that time, moving through time, space, energy, bringing worth and value to you, I think a lot of us, I know I was one of them, that just didn't give enough time and value to centering yourself, however that looks for you, and opening up some ideas on a page,
Yeah.
giving it a value and a life. And that is so valuable to it, as much valuable as if I were to sit in front of a computer this morning and just work on the photos that I have to enhance before I did an assignment, you know,
Yeah.
like, so, you know, managing your time and finding purpose in what you're doing is a balance. And that's one of my core values, is to live a balanced life. And another one is to cultivate creativity. Well, deciding not to do yoga and journaling instead was a decision that I made that I could have very easily got hard on myself.
Oh, yeah,
put myself
definitely.
down. And I hope that you weren't hard on yourself.
No, girl. I did my sunrise salutation at home, and I said, "That's it. That's all I got for today." I also got a chi in my lap now. Come here, chi. Now, I want to ask you about, because you think journaling is so important that you actually created a journal that
I did.
people can use. Can you
I do.
tell
Yeah.
people about it?
It's a
'Cause that's
focus
really
journal.
cool.
For me, it's a 3-month journal that has no time or dates on it, because, you know, we really have to be in control of our own time and dates. And I'm very a fluid person. So, you know, being somebody that needs to meet people at a certain time to take photos, you have to have some sort of timing. But I like to block off certain things too for just some organic flow.
Yeah.
And visionary work and that kind of stuff. So the journal, you know, I have a page that allows you to create kind of a vision for the next 3 months. And then the very next page is, you know, you can kind of break down that vision into 3 different goals, 3 different tasks, 3 different things that you want to accomplish in that next 3 months. And then it comes into the priority checklist, where then you can break it down to individual tasks.
Yeah.
So you can like see the big picture, which I'm really, really good at. And I
Yeah.
love helping people through that. Once you get to the priority checklist, you get to rate how these tasks that you need to do, how they make you feel. You're either energized,
Oh.
neutral, or distressed.
Yeah.
You know, how much time does it take if you're that much into organizing that you need to know, I can only spend a half an hour on this, or I have 30 minutes, or I just said the same thing twice. You know, I only have 2 hours.
Editing.
I know, right? So it's really nice, because that helps me as someone who is not a strong commitment to doing tasks. It kind of keeps me in line. I'm a great time management. Like you give me a shot list at a wedding, and I can make 20 30 photos
Yeah.
go in like 15 minutes just because of the order for which I put it in.
That was one of the things my partner Matthew has been working with you, and you've been kind of coaching him because he is looking to. I'm just putting all his stuff out there for him, but he is working to develop himself as a photographer, and you took him along to work at a wedding, and that was one of the things he noted. He was like, she is on it. She is like able to wrangle people and get them into place, and it was one of the things that he paid a lot of attention to, because I think that there is, and I think next episode we're probably going to talk more about the myths that are associated with time, but I think that is one of the myths that gets associated with being an organic or free-flowing person, is that you're just unable to
wrangle it in. But because I can wrangle it in, because I'm so good at procedures, so good at seeing the big picture and breaking them down, which is what the focus journal does,
right,
and it just kind of helps me organize it. I'm a way more efficient, and I'm very fast.
Yeah.
I'm very fast at creating good quality situations, experiences, products, everything with my task. And, that's a skill.
Yes.
That's not necessarily me just, being able to do it. Now, I really enjoy it, so that enhances my ability. But it's a learned skill that anybody can do. I'm not just one of the lucky ones that can do business and creative, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I read this book, it's called, from Gay Hendricks, called The Big Leap, and he calls it Einstein time, where you are so in the moment of doing the things that you enjoy. That's why you rate if you're energized, neutral, or distressed about a task.
Okay.
And what I do is I will get completely into the task of stuff I enjoy, and sometimes I have to do those first in order to get the momentum rolling for the distress or neutral tasks needed.
That makes
and then
so
you
much
just
sense,
work
yeah.
you just work through everything as it's done, and before you know it, you're done and you're moving on. And it's interesting, it does take some practice, but one thing that I kind of like almost made things hard on myself early in my career, because I felt like I wasn't enough value in producing what I was producing. It's like I almost was like more critical of myself because I felt like I had to be, so it'd bring more value to what I was giving. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that the way our current social structure is, it's so time oriented. And I mean, you can be the most go with the flow person in the world, but that clock's still ticking, and we all know it's there, and we're never going to be able to stop thinking about it. So it's how do you get to that point where you stop thinking like an office job, of like, oh, I have to fill out my 8 hours a day, and I have to spend a lot of time doing this, that, or the other.
Well, some people work really great in that structure.
Right.
And they bring that to the same structure when they are on their own doing a solo career instead of, a career that is structured within other levels of professions, like when you're working for somebody instead of for yourself. You just gotta understand who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where the journaling on Blake Lines come in. That's where, the meditation, that's where your thought processes can be cleared out when you're exercising, taking walks in nature. Like, it's legit when they say give value to all of that stuff. Because
Let's define meditation real quick, because I think a lot of people might hear that and think of, have a very preconceived notion of what meditation is. But I think the way you're using the word is a little more open than that.
Very open.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of interesting. Everybody perceives me as a yoga person automatically. And I can get where they say that. But actually, literally 3 months ago is when did we start doing that yoga class?
Nuh-uh.
That's the first time I've been this consistent about yoga. So thank you, Sam.
Sorry I failed on you today.
Do not.
I'm just
Do
kidding. I'm
not.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But so there are all levels. And again, the same way when you approach the way you work, you need to approach the way you meditate. Like, I know my nephew, he can step out of the realm of all of his like stress and anxiety from school when he's exercising.
Yeah.
For me, it's when I'm journaling or speaking out loud. Like these organic raw talks that we have, even not, if we're not recording them for the podcast.
Yeah.
That's a form of meditation where I am truth saying and I can't say anything but the truth.
Right.
Like I'm obligated to myself, but that's also just who I am as a person.
Right.
Walks in nature, where you know, kind of getting into that present moment is really what meditation is for me. So when I walk in nature, I'll take Chi and I will go in walks really early in the morning, even before I go to the sauna, before I meet you. I know, right? I'm up early. I'm an early
are up
bird.
early. Jeez.
And we'll just go on simple walks and I'll literally say, oh, look at that yellow flower. That is in the moment. I just heard a truck and then I'll acknowledge the truck that I hear passing by. That is staying in the moment and helping you. And there's such, it seems arbitrary, but it's like, I mean, there's nothing stressful about the yellow flower. And that's the goal of meditation.
Right.
Is not to be stressed of all the external things that you have going around, but like stepping outside of that for just a moment or two and letting your body relax into what is happening at the moment and not thinking of anything that needs to happen or that has happened.
Yeah, such an important thing. And
Right.
that's so funny because the cup that I picked out of your cabinet today says be in the moment.
Right.
And,
It's a camera.
and it's a camera. It's very cute.
Yes. Basically, meditation is like while I'm driving, just
Yes.
Acknowledging-
Listen to this, people. This blew my mind. She does beach photography, right? So the drive is about a 4-hour drive. And I'm like, do you listen to podcasts? Or like, what do you listen? Because I know she's not a music listener person in the car. And she goes, I just drive without anything on. Just silent. I just sit in silence. And I'm like, no.
a lot of gratitude, thoughts.
Yeah.
A lot of like.
Could you imagine being alone with your brain for that long in a day? Most people can't do that. And that, again, is another skill. It's training.
It's training.
It's
It is
doing
training.
it over and over again and building
and
up
it's-
to that.
And it's also, another form of meditation that I have utilized is sitting with my fears and my anxiety and acknowledging them and giving them sort of some validity. Yeah, you're right. You're protecting me right now from something. I hear you. You're not going to drive this train.
Yeah.
But you do get to have a small voice. So give it to me right now, everything. And I just kind of put it all out there. And then, you gotta find a way, usually through affirmations, listening to guided meditations, allowing myself to step into my power. It will dissipate or make those fears, give them less value, that kind of thing. But I find if you give some attention to them, they're going to slip away faster.
Yeah. Speaking of affirmations, we haven't really talked about it yet, but at the end of each show, we include an affirmation by the wonderful Cindy Wonderful.
That is really her
That is
name,
really
too.
her name.
Cindy Wonderful.
Yeah. So can you explain to people why that was something important that you wanted to include in the show?
Cindy's mixes, affirmation mixes. She is a DJ. She was a rapper in Berlin. She is a beautiful creative cultivator here in Baton Rouge. She just has a really kind soul too, and she wanted to empower people through these affirmation mixes, but she does it in a DJ form, like in a dance mix form. And so I find dancing is a very powerful meditation.
Yes.
And I love it. It just gets the energy moving. And so she told me she was doing them, and she actually coached me through the first one that I did outside of these podcasts. And I've listened to it 100 times, and it's about 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it's just using my voice and using music and the beat and some, electronics to really just make this like fluid flowing affirmation, and you just get into it because you're like hearing it and moving with it. And so I just was really moved by it, that I wanted to start creating them from the episode and adding them onto the episode so that other people could get into like the affirmation flow, but kind of different than what I will hear on like my meditation apps that I have, like I like different. And Cindy provides something that is way different than I've ever heard. And it taps into affirmations and another form of meditation that I love, which is dancing or like movement kind of stuff. So it's dance mixes too. So it's nice. So she is going to be taking things that we say in this podcast and mixing them in, and we will then add them on as an extension of the podcast. So, and hopefully have an album after we're all
That's cool.
I know.
So we want to know what you guys think about the affirmations, and also what your affirmations are. Maybe share those. Maybe record one and send them to us. So we'll put all that up on all the different social channels, and people can, because again, we want you to participate in this and be an active, engaged.
Yes, Cindy actually will take a voice memo recording from your phone and create a mix for you.
You want your own personalized
dancing
affirmation? We can make that happen.
Yeah, I have one on love.
Yeah.
And the other one I have that she did personally for me is on that the human design persona that I am, the projector. I'm a projector in the human design, and I've been working through that. So I did some affirmations around that to kind of help me just really come into myself. And they're just fantastic.
Yeah. So we're going to close shop here at this point, because we're going to get into the time issue a little bit more in the next episode.
More value, leading into more value and purpose.
Yeah.
More time, energy, and the idea behind, spending too much time, spending not enough time, but then also the value of your time.
Yeah. So until then, go download those journals, the online ones, or go to the store. There are also some worksheets available that you can get physical copies of. But download those and start.
She's like, I'll download it on your face with a kiss.
Start licking your face. Go download that and start. Tell them what to do. Okay. And start journaling, because it is a process. Like you said, it is a skill. So any skill has to be developed by repetition. So get started and see what happens. Mm-hmm. All right, Miss Jen 2 N's Oken. Mm-hmm. This has been great.
It has been. I'm just so grateful. Just so grateful. I really love my life.
You really do. All right. We'll see you next time, guys.
Peace out.
The music you hear was created by Cindy Wonderful. To access free resources, log on to Jen Oken's website at JENNOCKEN.com. If you found value from this episode, tell a friend. And if you have a moment, leave us a review. Tell us what you think.